as a woman, you might say that you're doing something, and there are people that are really happy about the transparency, and then there are people that will criticize you.
For sure, and I feel like society it can be cruel to women as we age, and it condemns women for aging, and people are really quick to talk about someone who has wrinkles and has looks as they should as they age, and if their face shows those signs, and then they condemn them and bash them, and then someone goes and gets a facelift and they get told they look like mutton or whatever. So you really can't win. So it's really, as difficult as that is, I think you have to try where you can to make sure you're making the right decisions for yourself.
Welcome to Glowlab. We're going to have a lot of fun and learn a lot together.
Hi everybody, my name is Susan Yara. I'm a content creator. I started off as that. I started with cosmetic treatment education, skincare education, and eventually started this brand called NATURIUM, which we're here to celebrate because we have expanded into 500 Boots stores. And to celebrate that, we are doing a live version of my podcast called Glowlab with Olivia Attwood. And it just felt like the best person to have on here for this conversation, because you have been so great about talking about your cosmetic treatments, skincare, beauty, and just really inspiring people by being yourself. I'm going to give a little bit of your background. Olivia, if you don't know, I feel like everybody I've talked to, though, knows exactly who you are. As a TV personality, a broadcaster, and a beauty lover, which we all love. And she talks about all things skincare, tips, tricks, favorites, and regrets. And because, let's face it, we all have some regrets too, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to be talking about a lot of that fun stuff. And I feel like we're in this new era of transparency, which is amazing, because 10 years ago when I started my YouTube channel, Mixed Makeup, you couldn't get anybody to even admit they had Botox. And now everyone's talking about, we've got like Kylie talking about who did her breast implants. We've got her mom, Kris Jenner, talking about who did her facelift. It's amazing to see that people are more transparent about that. What do you think about it?
Thanks for the lovely intro, Susan. Very excited to be here. I'm excited by transparency. It's something that it's a difficult relationship, I think, as a female to have with cosmetic transparency, because you do feel like, you can't win or lose. Either way, if you're honest, you can kind of get criticized for your choices. And I understand why a lot of people are nervous to be transparent, but I am excited by the movement that I feel like we're headed towards. I think it's a better place for everyone. And I think with transparency, then you can help to educate each other, and that's always a good thing for safety around cosmetics.
Yeah, I feel like you've been kind of a pioneer in cosmetic treatment transparency with the price of perfection. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, can you explain to them?
Absolutely. So The Price Perfection is a documentary series. We have 2 series now that was originally on ITV2 and now can stream on ITVX, and it's also now available on Disney Plus, which is really exciting. And it is a docuseries looking at cross-section of the cosmetic industry as it currently stands. So it's not about just botched procedures or just good procedures. We try and kind of do a little bit of everything, of the whole range. Look at trends, look at the money people are spending, what they're willing to spend. And I hope it's educational and also kind of entertaining and warm and a relatively easy watch while still having that journalistic rigor.
Were there any people from the show that you were really inspired by or that really stand out to you?
I'm always inspired by really honest people and people that are unapologetically themselves and make decisions for themselves, whether that's a popular decision or not. I think it gives you a really good insight into the pressures that we're all under from society to look and feel a certain way. And I think that the aptly named Price of Perfection has a through storyline in itself, that perfection is different to everyone. So chasing it is often like a fruitless journey, because for what you think is perfect, the next 10 people won't agree with you. So you really have to try and find out your own version of what that is.
Yeah, for sure. And like you were saying earlier, it's like, as a woman, you might say that you're doing something, and there are people that are really happy about the transparency, and then there are people that will criticize you.
For sure, and I feel like society it can be cruel to women as we age, and it condemns women for aging, and people are really quick to talk about someone who has wrinkles and has looks as they should as they age, and if their face shows those signs, and then they condemn them and bash them, and then someone goes and gets a facelift and they get told they look like mutton or whatever. So you really can't win. So it's really, as difficult as that is. I think you have to try where you can to make sure you're making the right decisions for yourself and not for someone else.
Yeah, completely. Well, let's talk about regrets, because we all have them, especially as women. It's like a rite of passage, right?
Yeah.
I know that I've had regrets since my teen years, like over tweezing my brows all the way up to, I probably overdid it with filler and then had to dissolve my filler. What are some of the beauty regrets you have, big and small?
So like the two that stand out straight away when you ask that question, and if anyone here has followed me on Instagram since Love Island, I have been on quite a lip filler journey. There was a time when they were just ridiculous. And like, I look back now and I'm like, oh my God, people like my mum were right. I hate to say that. But they looked ridiculous. But I was completely blind to it because I think I was like slowly filling them up. So I didn't notice how disproportionate they were to my face. And in the end, I think they had the opposite effect of what I wanted them to have. Luckily, in most cases, things like filler can be like, you can turn back the clock on that. And then the other thing that I regret is just my lax attitude to protecting my skin from the sun when I was in my teens and my early 20s. I never wore SPF and I had really bad pigmentations, like damage on my skin from the sun. I didn't take that seriously at all. Now I went on like a pre-wedding skin journey where I did like a lot of lasers and IPL, and I kind of have managed to undo a lot of it at great time and great expense, which obviously isn't something that everyone has access to. So if you are listening to this and you're young, put sun cream on your face. You will not regret it.
It's very, very true. That's something that I preach. Actually, earlier I was telling the girls, they were like, what's the one beauty product that you could not live without? And it's sunscreen, because nothing else matters after that. I feel like with the lip thing, the lip filler, I also at one point was getting lip filler. I don't think I realized how much it was starting to get a little out of hand with me too. And so I dissolved my filler, and then I took a whole year break and just let my lips be.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I know, I'm gonna go back now. But we did it a lot differently the second time around, so.
And I think that's the other thing, is like, if you're gonna dissolve filler, and and I was really honest about this, it's like, don't, like when you have an audience that we both have, I think, dissolving filler and telling people going on a dissolving journey and then refilling well, but leaving that part out is not honesty with your followers, because then they're gonna be like, oh, I dissolved my lips and they don't look like yours. It's like, yeah, I dissolved and I refilled with a better injector and with more suitable amounts for my face.
Yeah, I just feel like trends have really changed when it comes to filler now too, right? Where they place it, even with lips, that when I went and got them redone, they were like, we're gonna just work on the shape of your lips instead of the fullness of your lips. So it's, the trends come and go too, right? How has your relationship with yourself just kind of evolved over the last 10 years?
I think when it comes to like beauty and fashion and kind of my aesthetic approach to how I want to look, I think it's less orientated to like the male gaze. I think that I wasn't aware of it in my late teens and my 20s, but I think that all the decisions I made was about sexualizing myself, thinking what I thought men found attractive. And I think as you get older and you become more confident in yourself, it becomes less important. And like now I'm way more focused on whether the girls are going to give me a compliment. I don't give a F what the guys think. So yeah, I think that journey is one that I noticed when I look at the way I used to what I used to think was cool versus now.
Yeah, I recently started showing my ass off a little bit more on Instagram. Not really for any reason, but somebody, when I posted a picture in a bikini, was like so critical of it, and then I just felt like trolling everybody that was critical of it by posting more shots of my backside. And it's funny, the conversations that have come from it, because there are these women that are commenting like, you're doing this for men. And so I actually shared my demographics, and I was like, no, I'm doing it for the girls, the gays, and the theys. Do you feel like there's still a pressure for women to look a certain way, especially you were mentioning as women age?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's internalized misogyny in all of society, right? And the youth and beauty are economic currency, like whether we like it or not. There's a lot of the foundations of our civilization is based on that. And where I think things are changing and we are progressing, as a society, and we value other things as much as, you can't ignore the fact that for a lot of people that is their instant first reaction on you, how they look at you, how they take you in. So it is something that, even though we would like that not to be the case anymore, it is. I think it's about empowering yourself on that journey and making sure that you're not becoming a victim to that kind of misogyny and that pressure. You're doing things because you want to.
For sure. I feel like women in their 30s and 40s and 50s are really setting the tone now for what gracefully aging is too, whether you're getting tweakments or not, or whether you're choosing to not do anything. I feel like we're really starting to set the tone
And I feel like that's the thing, is like it's a choice, and if someone wants to like, you know, have cosmetic interference in the way they look because they don't want to show whatever signs of aging that might be, other women condemning them and bashing them that's not feminism, and that's not helpful for anyone. So I think that where we can, we should try and uplift each other, even if what one person's choice is not the choice that you want to make. Just let them do their thing.
Well, for you though, the choice has been to do some treatments. Do you have any favorites?
For me, 100%, and I really enjoy. I love a medi spa. You know, anytime I have off, I am in a medi spa, getting something injected or something lasered. It's like I enjoy taking care of myself that way. And a camera-facing job, I'm always in front of a camera or a phone. And it's like it makes everything easier in the morning, right? If what you're starting with gives you a head start. I love Botox, like every 3 to 4 months. I love an IPL laser-based facial. Like, I think they are amazing. I like injectable skincares. I'm big on polynucleotides. I feel like I'm a big fan of them. And how long have you got?
I mean, we want to hear all of them.
I do. You know, filler, it's like I still use filler, but it's like it's little bits as and when. I haven't had filler in my lips for about 6 months or so, but it's like little tweaks, and like rather than going in and expecting like a whole syringe to be like dumped in my face, it's like little micro droplets, like just like facial symmetry and things that I'm looking at more when I'm sitting in front of an aesthetics doctor.
Yeah. Have you had any actual plastic surgery that you've talked about or anything?
Yeah, so I did a bleph like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I've mentioned it on podcasts and things, and that was again because it was something that was bugging me when I was on camera, and when I like looked in photos, I was like, I don't like seeing that skin. It's kind of it was a genetic thing for me, more like my dad's side of the family, thanks to have heavy eyes, and it was bothering me. I felt like it when I wore fake eyelashes, it wasn't symmetrical. So yeah, I guess that counts as surgery.
Yeah. I mean,
and my breast, I've talked about a lot. Emma's bored of hearing about my breast.
No, I don't think that's a topic anyone can talk about for days and days and days. Is there a time where you felt your most beautiful?
Such a good question. I always feel my most beautiful when I'm in Ibiza.
Same. I was just there.
I just looked because I'm going next month, and I had like memories coming up on my phone. I was like, do you know what? When I get on that island, I'm just that girl. Like, I was like, there's something in the air. Everything, the makeup goes on perfectly, the hair goes well. I looked okay on my wedding day as well.
Yeah, actually, you did. I saw those pictures. You looked gorgeous. Absolutely.
It took an army.
Yeah. No, I mean, for everybody, that's what we want. We want the army. As we grow older, we often shift how we see ourselves. Is there like a feature of yourself, a body area? Is that something in your face or anything that you used to want to change, but now you're like, you know what? No, I love and embrace this.
It's a really good question. You know, when it's not face, but it's when I was younger, I always was called like chicken legs at school, and I obviously had these little twig legs, and it was something that people, you know, my aunts and my mum, oh, little chicken legs, and then I used to say, I hate having these like skinny legs, and then my mum was like, when you're older, you'll love them, and I just think I won't, because I look like 2 red sticks running along. But now as I'm older, I do appreciate them. I was like, okay, she was right.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where the grass is always greener, because I'm a shorter girl and I don't have long legs, so I always see someone like you and I'm like, I wish I had these legs, you know. So definitely.
And I think also, without your sun damage aside, having like a freckly complexion, I think sometimes when I was younger, my sister has a much more olive skin and she'd go really tanned, and my tan would kind of get freckles and up on gold, and I used to feel jealous of that. But now, you know, as long as my skin's protected, I like the freckles that come through in the sun.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I tend to find that when people come up and talk to me, if they know the industry that I work in, they have questions like, what do you think is the best treatment that I should go get done? Like, I'm new to cosmetic treatments. What should I do? I know that I always say Botox. Like, Botox for me is like the gateway drug. Like, you get that done, you'll be very happy. Do your crow's feet, you'll be like, wow, this is a game changer. Is there something that you always recommend to people?
You know, since they call it, I don't know what you might have a different like brand name for it in the States, but they call it Photo Fabulous. It's like this laser-based facial that I had on my lead up to my wedding, and I did like the course of it. It's like IPL, there's a bit of resurfacing, and in that lead up, I remember like people would be like, oh, what foundation do you have? And I'd be like, I haven't got anything on my skin, and my friends would be like, you're lying. Like, I'm going to test your skin. I'd be like, no, that was the
what is it called again?
Photo Fabulous. They call it, but essentially it's like an IPL laser facial.
Okay.
So that, I think, for me, I've had amazing results. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Botox.
Yeah. Botox, that's the easy one. Whenever people are like, I don't like needles, just try it.
As soon as you get into your kind of like, you know, your mid-30s, it's like having that little lift and you see the difference. Yes, yeah, it's good.
For sure. Okay, so what are some misconceptions or a misconception that people have of you, whether it comes to your looks or just your personality, anything? Because I know, especially being online, that people just have some assumptions about who you are.
Maybe like if it comes to beauty, probably that I'm like super high maintenance and that I probably, you know, be doing a lot of glam all the time. And I think my documentaries actually were like a big jump scare for people, because if I don't have like a structured glam routine, I'm often not wearing makeup. So to come do something like this, or if I'm doing daytime TV, or if I'm going for a night out, I have glam and I do it the whole thing. But anything that's kind of not like that, I just don't wear makeup. I love the feeling of not having makeup on my skin, and I think that always surprises people when they meet me out and about. And it might be because I have to do so much glam for work that then I just enjoy having my skin bare. I was going to say, like, maybe it's a misconception that I'm a bitch, but I think it depends when you catch me.
That's all of us, isn't it? What time of the month is it?
Yeah. Approach your caution, the peak, the lead up to period.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm known as the skincare queen, so I always want to know what other people are using when it comes to skincare. What are some of your favorite products to use?
So I in my bathroom is quite a range. Like I dip around quite a bit. I do like a kind of medical grade skincare for certain things, like a ZO or a SkinCeuticals. I mean, your stuff, the body butter has literally, I won't say the name, but I was a loyal customer of one brand for like 15 years. And when I first tried the Glow Getter via Space NK, and literally I've never looked back. Like I've never looked back.
I love it.
I have a lot of different self tanners in the cupboard. Bondi Sands, Saint-Tropez, you name it, it's in there, and a load of SPFs.
What's your best skincare tip?
Protecting your skin from the sun, never sleep with makeup. So sometimes, you know, and obviously drink responsibly, because I know there's young people here, but if I know I'm going to be slightly irresponsible, I literally put the face wipes and some like oil-based eye makeup remover on the bed. So I'm like, when I get in, I actually can't avoid. So I just lie there and I kind of just get everything off. Just don't sneak in your makeup. Like, just don't.
I'm gonna come over and be your person that takes all your makeup off with a double cleanse.
Yeah, or have a really good friend or husband or boyfriend that knows there's part of your like protocols. Just wipe you in your sleep.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Do you have a wellness routine or anything that you feel like has kind of changed your life too?
If you follow me on Instagram, I typically now, when you told me it's my early 20s, I would laugh in my face. I get up really early.
What is early though?
Like 5, half 5, and not in like a, you know, sort of nauseating, you know, 5 a.m. club kind of cult way, just in a way that I found that if I get up before my phone starts ringing, I'm a way better person for that day. So I make sure that I kind of gauge it. If I can sleep until like 6, I will, but I kind of make sure that I know I have at least an hour before someone's going to speak to me, and in that time then I can do my skincare, I could do a workout, go for a walk, have a coffee, and then I feel like my whole day is better. I feel like when I wake up on the back foot, and sometimes when I finish shooting a show at like midnight, and then I will oversleep my alarm and I wake up by someone calling me, I feel like I'm chasing my tail all day. I never catch up. So I know it's just like, it's massive eye roll, isn't it? But for me, it getting up before the day makes a massive difference.
Are there any exercises that you're doing that you feel like really have helped your body, changed your body?
You know, I've always weight trained, like since when I was a model and doing like commercial modeling back in the day. Like for my figure to have shape and to have like something that like resembles a glute, I would be weight trained, like resistance training, and then my cardio is always walking. I don't like to run. Do you know what? I spent too much money on my boobs to run, and I can never find a sports bra that I really feel like is doing the job. So yeah, I do resistance training 3 to 4 times a week, and I walk a lot. I've got 2 big dogs, so.
The walking is perfect. You know, I started talking to the past couple of personal trainers I've had. They've actually stopped me from doing any kind of hardcore intensity, high intensity cardio.
Yes, interesting.
Because apparently, like after you turn, don't quote me on this, guys, like 30, 35, if you are trying to hold on to muscle, which is hard for women,
yes,
then if you try to do high intensity cardio, it actually starts to take from your muscle.
Interesting.
So you want to be able to hold on to your muscle. So walking, what I've been doing is incline walking.
No,
I've been sharing it with people too. So I think you're onto something. You didn't even know. Nobody even had to tell you.
There you go.
You were just concerned about the boobs.
for last year, obviously check with the doctor first, not giving out nutrition advice, but I do supplement creatine as well.
Same.
And it's helped me a lot with strength. I noticed the difference.
Same. Creatine has been my favorite supplement. Does anybody else take creatine? Look
on there.
We've got the creatine girls.
And
get on it.
There's early research out there that you can look up for yourself, but apparently it has a great with the brain health.
Yeah, cognitive health.
Yeah, there's a great connection there with creatine, so it's like a double whammy.
I know, especially again for women.
Yes.
I love that there's more information to me about women's health. Are you following a lot of this?
I do. I've always been a bit of a health geek, I have to say. I've always, and I got it from my mum. My mum was always really dialed in on kind of, wellness and health, and she would always be reading books. I think that I got that love from her. So it's something that I like to educate myself.
Are there other supplements that you're taking?
So typically for me, I'm supplementing creatine. I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day just because of lifestyle, germs, supplement vitamin D. If you live in the UK, you have to. You probably don't need to living in Miami.
I mean, everybody does. Everybody does.
I do a magnesium complex, like all the magnesiums. I take it in the evening. It helps me recover from the gym. It helps me sleep. I do an omega-3 and an omega-6, again for the brain. I think that's it.
Those are really good ones.
And a vodka soda on a Friday night.
You what?
A vodka soda on a Friday.
I like that. Whatever makes you happy. For sure. Last question. There are so many celebrity routines and TikTok trends and all of these things. Is there anything that stands out to you as good and then a trend that you just cannot stand?
I think I can't stand fear-mongering around sun protection online without any scientific backup.
Thank you.
If you want to rub a beef tallow on your face and smell like a steak, go get it. But that's just not me. I'm going to use my SPF, and I'm not going to walk around smelling like a fillet steak. So that would be one. The ice bowl water in the morning works. If you're a little bit hungover, puffy, and you fill a bowl of water and ice and you dunk your face, I saw that on TikTok, I gave it a go. It does actually really work. If you're feeling puffy.
But can't we just get a spoon, put it in the fridge, and then just
You could, but there's something about submerging your face. If you're struggling to wake up, that will do it.
That's a good point. That is a good point. I have seen these videos, especially it's these guys, right, that are
oh yeah, I mean they make it insufferable, but it does as a depuffing. Another thing I can't get on board with, I don't know how people feel, is matcha.
Oh, I love matcha.
Just raise your hand if you like matcha. Okay, see, it's to me. I feel like it tastes like dirt.
You gotta put a pump of vanilla.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah, just flavor it.
I want to like it because it looks aesthetically pleasing. How sad is that?
There's a little cafe in Miami where they take the matcha latte and they'll also put strawberry collagen in it, and it makes it taste so sweet and delicious.
Come on, Batsy needs to catch up with Miami. We need
to come. Yeah, come on over. Come back to Miami.
And you have to ask me twice.
Any trends that you love?
I love skin being a trend. I love the fact that we are, showing skin and showing freckles and moles, and we're kind of leaning into the beauty of them. I think with all the erasing we do and the kind of the searches for perfection, I think the fact that people are embracing their natural skin and showing it off is pretty beautiful, and I love that. And I think it looks so youthful if you can find a good foundation or a base that also shows off your natural variations in the skin tone.
Love that. Well, Olivia, thank you so much. This was such a fun conversation.
I could talk to you all day.
I could talk to you all day too. We're gonna have a Miami trip soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Glowlab. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you follow, rate, and also share it with a friend because we want to keep this show going. I'll talk to you next time.